The Second Vatican Council was an event of grace for the Church and also for the congregation. A breath of fresh air, a call to fidelity to the gospel without fear of change in order to adapt to the new times.
9 Claretian missionaries were present, 8 bishops and a special guest of the Pope. From Cardinal Arcadio Maria Larreona to Peter Schweiger, Superior General of the Congregation. And let us not forget the 4 Claretian experts appointed by the Pope. Their wisdom was crucial in this period.
But not everything was renewal and help. During those years, the congregation faced hard persecutions, such as those in Equatorial Guinea and Congo-Kinshasa. These were difficult times, times of struggle and resistance, but the fire of our faith always sustained us.
New vicariates and prelatures emerged. From Quibdó in Colombia with Bishop Pedro Grau to Malabo, the capital of Equatorial Guinea, where Father Rafael Maria Nze became its bishop. New lands, new missions, and always with the same fire of love that drives us.
The congregation continued to expand, consolidating its presence in places such as Germany, France, the Philippines, and Venezuela. In 1966, the congregation reached its highest number of professed missionaries, 3,607.
In 1967 came the renewal chapter, the longest of all. It was a fundamental milestone in our history. 2.5 months of deep reflection on our identity and patrimony. Father Antonio Lehiza was elected as the new Superior General. A long period of reflection and discernment began in order to bring the constitutions into line with the spirit of the Council.
Restructuring did not stop there. In Spain, new provinces emerged and old ones were consolidated. Many of them carried the fire of love to new places of mission in distant and especially impoverished lands. In 1967, the second and best known history of the congregation was published, Compendio Histórico, in 2 volumes, the work of Father Cristobal Fernandez.
For a better organization of its life and mission, the congregation gives a strong impulse to the interprovincial conferences. Thus, Akla, Askla, Chech, Chikla, Iberia, and Nakla were born as spaces of coordination and collaboration between the major organisms.
The congregational fire was growing and needed better channels of communication to live the universal communion. Thus, the NILC was born as a monthly bulletin on the news of the Claretian mission throughout the world.
In 1968, in Madrid, the Regina Apostolorum School is born. Soon after, the first 2 Claretian institutes specialized in the theology of consecrated life, Madrid and Rome, emerged. This apostolate, so typical of the founder's life, became a prevailing missionary field. Thus, institutes would spring up in places as far away as the Philippines, India, Colombia, and Nigeria.
1970. Claretians bring the fire of love to new lands such as India, Cameroon, former Yugoslavia, and Nigeria. However, the forces of evil did not cease to try to put out the fire. In this decade, in Equatorial Guinea, the missionaries suffered severe persecution to the point of being tortured and expelled from the country. Even so, the flame of love was never extinguished. Many of them went to other countries, such as the Philippines, to continue the mission.
On the centenary anniversary of Father Claret's death, the congregation expressed its gratitude for his missionary legacy and his witness of holiness. The big sepulchre temple was inaugurated as a tribute of gratitude and a challenging memorial.
1973. After 6 years of intense renewal, the 18th General Chapter was held. This time, there was a special reflection on fraternal life and community. Father Antonio Leguisa was re-elected Superior General. His rich contribution was particularly felt in the circular letter he wrote on the Heart of Mary. It was a light in the midst of the perplexity and confusion that arose after the council.
In 1974, new missions continued to be founded, such as the one in the north of Potosi in Bolivia and Gabon. The fire of love continues to spread. As always, there is no shortage of persecution, this time in Angola and the Philippines. However, despite the adversities, the fire of audacity remains intact, like an ember that never extinguishes.
1979. The 19th General Chapter is celebrated. A reinterpretation of the Claretian mission was made, conscious of being a missionary, enculturated, and liberating community. The first non-European Superior General, the Argentinian Father Gustavo Alonso, was elected. The Congregation of Fire continues to broaden its cultural spectrum. In June 1980, the first meeting of the Missionary Brothers was held, which would be followed by others. The vocation crisis that was affecting the congregation in general was becoming more pressing in the lay charism.
1982. The renewed constitutions were approved by the Church. In 1986, after bringing them into line with the new Code of Canon Law, they were definitively approved. There was still a long way to go to assimilate and apply them.
1987. The General Government approved the directory which contains the norms that help to live the spirit of the constitutions. All these documents helped to keep alive the fire of the salvation of humanity and to carry it with missionary passion throughout the world.
1984. Unity is felt. The first world encounter of the Claretian family was held in Rome. Representatives of its 8 branches had time to share, reflect, and strengthen the common charism. This is the beginning of a new journey, with many more to follow.
1985. The 20th General Chapter was held and focused on the person of the Claretian. Father Gustavo Alonso was re-elected Superior General.
Claret's legacy lives on, and the spark of love continues to spread to new places, such as Australia and Korea. The path of the congregation continues to open up to the future.
We are channels of